to the fourth Thursday Hangout in October. I'm David Chelsea. This is my daughter, Rebecca. This is my friend Pete Soloway of Pizza Guy. And we're mostly going to be drawing, chatting while we're drawing. I think we're probably going to lead off with a game of Eat Poop You Cat. Also, Jacob Mercy is here behind the camera.
What up, Detroit?
He might join in drawing as well.
Probably not.
Yeah, anyway. So, Eat Poop You Cat. Would you like to explain it, Pete?
Sure. It's part of a group of surrealist drawing games that generate amusing art through rules. So it works like a game of telephone. You first write down a phrase, then you pass that phrase to somebody and they have to draw it. And then without showing the original phrase to the next person, that person has to write down a description of the drawing. And then you repeat that without anyone seeing anything past the previous phase. So the thing evolves over turns.
And who wants to lead off?
What? Don't we all do it? Don't you all start at once and then?
Well, what we're going to do is I think we're going to have one on camera.
One on camera.
And people are on their honor not to look at what's on camera. The person who is participating will be doing it. And we'll just sort of be generally chatting while the viewers with the camera are watching what's being drawn. And then what's being drawn will be translated into a phrase, and then the next person will translate the phrase back into a drawing, and it'll go around a couple of times. All right.
Apologies in advance for people who have limited speaker volume because some of us will be loud and others only one microphone.
Where's the microphone?
In the computer.
It's in the computer. Isn't the 21st century marvelous? they have computers with microphones built in now.
It'd be more fancy if the microphone was outside the computer. Right?
No, that's old school.
That would be more
it's more likely to be a better quality mic. That is true.
Yeah. So Jacob, I would ask you to switch the camera over so that we're looking at the drawing surface.
You want to start there?
Oh, I guess I could start. Why don't I start?
All right, you start.
I'll start with something. So, let's start with taking my face out, and I'm going to draw something.
We're not going to look.
You're supposed to write something for the first phase. I guess you could do it either way.
I figure I'll start by drawing something.
Fair enough. Oh, right.
Only
one of us is allowed to look.
Well, if you look at
So I'm not going to say anything
This just became more
about what I'm drawing.
Well, I know it contains a circle. I saw that much. So at least now we're on equal footing.
So what should we talk about?
Well, what did you do in school today, Rebecca? Rebecca is a sophomore at Grant High.
Just name them the day passing. Okay, I had health class / PE class. They're now one class apparently, with about 3 classes worth of students in it. And basically we get into baggy uniform and we run around the gym. And then we talked about the dairy food group, and then we played volleyball. So
You're a sophomore?
Yes. I don't know who decided that health and PE were 2 concepts that went perfectly together with each other.
So you're now studying in the gym?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds awkward.
Well, we also have portables in the gym.
Oh,
We write things in books, which use mostly Comic Sans and little bits of stretched clip art in black and white. It's it's pretty not very advanced.
I forgot how boring high school is.
That's my only boring class. It was good. Then after that, I had Spanish class. We talked about mandatos, commands, which are more complicated than English, and then a lot of vocabulary words which are less complicated than English. And that's pretty much it. Sang a song about a guy who drives around. You know, we do a lot of singing in language classes. I don't know if that's unique to Spanish or.
I have finished my drawing, and now I invite someone to be up to turn it into a phrase or for a sentence.
Can we turn the computer around so it's only visible in the room, so we can stand on this side of the room without having to stop ourselves from looking at it? Because I'm really bad at not looking at screens. I can't go to a bar where they've got sports going, and I hate sports, but I still look up.
You know,
That's great.
I do too, but I can't see the screen. So I'm over on this side. And am I audible?
On that side, you have to not look at the page.
So I-
sure.
Oh, well,
we're
I'm
audible.
not. Out of
Do I,
sight, out of mind.
Flip
So-
the page.
So just flip it back, maybe flip it under, so it's not visible to the next person. So what are you working on, Pete?
You guys know.
I'm working on the a piece of art for a mobile game called Evil Apples.
Okay.
You should play if you haven't. It's
I like apples.
well, it is inspired by well, it's directly based on with permission by on a game called Cards Against Humanity, which is inspired without permission by the Apples to Apples, which
Oh, I know that game.
most people do at this point.
I got really sick of that game.
Well,
We used to play it with the kids when they were smaller.
it turns out for a lot of people, the problem with that game is that it doesn't have any dirty words in it. So
right.
Cards Against Humanity took it and added a lot of adult content. And Evil Apples took the similar concept but turned it into a mobile game, which is also really fun. And so I do all the illustrations for that. They currently need an image to display in the rare cases when the app is offline. So it's like we're experiencing technical difficulties kind of thing.
Who wants to draw?
I think, well, you want to go up, Jacob?
No.
Jacob doesn't want to go up.
Okay, I'll go.
Pete will go up.
I'm the only one who hasn't gotten, so I have no choice
Well, who did?
other than to run out of here screaming.
So,
Very descriptive.
this may be a wrong question, but what varieties of apples do you draw in your version of the game?
Apples?
Yes.
I do not typically draw apples.
Oh.
I don't think that's happened yet, unless you call pumpkin an apple.
Oh, really? Okay.
Isn't it called Evil Apples?
Yeah.
No apples?
Yeah,
in
you would think
Evil
there'd be
Apples?
more apples in it. And they claim that the name was not in any way based on the name of apples to apples. That they were going for specifically like a bad apples metaphor. I can't write. I can't draw and talk apparently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not capable. I'm surprised too.
I guess I'll talk about apples. My favorite apple variety is King David. And in fact,
Pretty good.
yeah, King David is really good. It's
So I prefer Macun.
okay, we have Macun and King David growing in the backyard, although this year we didn't get any King Davids, unfortunately.
Or
Something,
Macun's really.
yeah, we got a couple of Macuns. King David is a sort of a wine sap Arkansas black type apple that has what I would call a cranberry flavor. It's really nice, and it's nice and hard. It's not too mushy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where would it fall on the tartness spectrum?
Well, I'm not really scientific about that, and I don't know if there is a quantifiable tartness spectrum.
You can measure pH, but that doesn't measure sugars. In addition to
And I'm sure these things are variable by the year. Probably this year, if we had any, King David would have been sweeter. Everything seems to be sweeter. Grapes are sweeter this year
because of the summer.
because we have this really hot summer. And figs, we're still getting a couple of figs a week off of the tree, although they're hard to reach. So one upside of global warming.
That's another thing.
It's a monkey's paw kind of thing. Fruit is sweeter, but it's harder to reach.
Well, Jacob, are you sure we can't persuade you to turn Pete's drawing into a phrase?
I've already seen it. So
I've already seen it. All right.
Well, why are you going to look looking at
Then,
it?
then I guess it has to fall on me.
Because I'm doing a V.
A what?
I'm doing a V,
Oh.
so I need to make sure we're actually broadcasting.
Okay.
Because otherwise we'll just go off the air.
So I'll talk a little bit about what I'm up to. One thing I'm doing is I'm doing a private commission for a friend who asked me to illustrate one of his dreams. A dream in which he was Godzilla and was looking at a picture of Godzilla and scratched the picture, and underneath was his actual face as a child. But I won't show you the picture because that's private. That's a private commission. I'd have to ask his permission. I'm also working on my web comic, Are You Being Watched, which appears on Patreon every week. Although it's not appearing this week because I've got a Snow Angel story running in serial form. And also I am working on a new book for Watson Guptill, which is my third book about perspective, called Perspective in Action. And the chapter that I'm working on now is about anamorphosis, which is drawings that are meant to be viewed at a very oblique angle. The most familiar example of that would be those sidewalk chalk drawings that look like a girl in a swimming pool when you're standing like 30 feet away, but when you look up close, it just looks like some sort of distended blob. So I'm laying out the rules for all that. So are you done?
Yep, you're
Okay, I'm going to look at.
I just realized our camera might be set up in such a way that Lefty will cover the image while working on it and make it very boring recording. So,
Well,
apologies to anyone who sat through that. Really? Well, Jacob says it's fine.
So I don't know anyone want to hear about my afternoon classes.
Definitely.
So I had all my easy classes today. My afternoon was band and graphic design.
okay, Rebecca, ready for you again.
All right.
Now, I'm not sure that this one is evolving very much.
There are certain images that pretty much anyone can draw and cannot be misinterpreted.
Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't start it off, or maybe we should start off with a phrase next time. Let's
That
see.
might be the reason to start with a phrase, because then you're inspired to intentionally do something hard to draw.
Okay. This is.
Well, should we end it?
We're learning as we're doing. Why don't you finish it up, and then we can start a new one.
You could also be intentionally oblique in your descriptions just to keep things interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, when were you introduced to Eat Poop You Cat? Because I was introduced by you
Oh, really?
at some drink and draw
I'm very
event.
proud of that. I was introduced, so like I said, it was originally, when I first heard about it, it was a computer game called Broken Picture Telephone.
Mm-hmm.
I only heard Eat Poop You Cat years later, so...
My Spanish teacher actually knew it was called Eat Poop You Cat.
Yeah?
So if you said it in Spanish. We played it once a couple years ago.
Oh, were you playing in Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, and did he use the proper imperative tense for eat?
I think so, yeah.
That's good to know.
So what would it be
Is it come?
in Spanish?
Yeah, come.
What's the whole thing on?
Come caca el gato. He says eat poop the cat. Which I suppose is a little different.
That's
Yeah.
Eat Poop the Cat. That doesn't. It doesn't make a sentence in English.
Well, it makes a really weird, threatening sentence, I guess.
Well, this is why Google Translate isn't fantastic. You can't just straight up translate words. You have to actually understand the meaning of the sentence.
Well, if you're, I don't know if they have an equivalent in Spanish for you cat. It might
Yeah.
just be eat poop cat, like you're talking to the cat.
Mm-hmm. It's not like the you actually served much of a purpose in that sentence.
Yes.
It has sort of a what an implied meaning of like accusation.
Well, originally it was thou, because it was royal pronouns for cats.
I believe you.
Why?
I don't know. Somehow, yeah, you're just trustworthy.
Seems like a really bad idea.
Well, people have elected presidents for less.
Nope, that was it. You missed it. You missed the lie of the day.
Oh,
You're still doing that.
that's something we've been playing. This is something that I got from the parenting podcast. Mom and Dad are fighting. A way to get your teenagers to articulate, to actually engage is don't ask them about their day.
Lie to them.
No, ask them for 2 truths and a lie about their day.
That's been doing it with
good
me.
one.
Yes. So I told Rebecca 2 truths and a lie about my day. One being that Jacob brought over his friend Pete and that we were doing a hangout.
I knew that one was true because I heard about it.
Yes, and one that was that Jacob had brought over a calculus book that my son Ben in college had mistakenly ordered from Amazon. Also true. And actually, I forget what the lie was that I told you.
The lie was that you had heard from Ben that he's growing a beard.
Yes. So far as I know, not the truth.
Could be.
Well, it's not the truth that you heard it if you don't know. I mean, unless you forgot it.
So, do you feel closer to your dad now, Rebecca?
We're pretty close.
You know, it's more than just saying, "How was your day?" "Oh, fine." "How was your day?" "Oh, good."
Have you considered rapping?
You should consider rapping. I'd be all for that.
People would definitely turn out to your screencasts if you were rapping on them.
Ooh, see,
No, I meant to just connect to Rebecca.
just to connect to her. See, I regard. I know he's popular, but I regard Dan Harmon as like everything I don't want to do.
All right, so
that's
well,
funny. I'm
okay, so what's Rebecca got for us?
should we end this one, start a new one?
Yeah, let me have a look at it.
So I've drawn-
whack. So
Okay.
I
That's
really
why
think
she
you're
had to draw
halfway
a
to
hoe.
rapping.
Okay, no, it's a pretty good hoe.
It's pretty good.
Hey, why don't you? Do you want to carry over and do the
Oh, wait, let me
do the
look Let me
phrase?
look at the rest of it.
Dan Harmon's working methodology.
So I
is
saw
for
this
a
one.
Pocket watch
No, to
on his pants.
aspire to not be Dan Harmon.
Oh,
It's pretty
that's
cute.
true. He does hate himself. But he also thinks he's a genius and a vessel for God's words.
All right. So should I start the next one?
Start the next one,
With
and
a
I
phrase.
promise not to look.
Okay, she's starting the next one.
She's going to write something,
Okay,
and I don't know.
We're
You,
not
want to
looking.
draw straws for who goes next?
I will volunteer.
Yeah, all right. Good for you, Pete.
This game is more fun when you play with people who really can't draw.
Yeah, you need at least one to break the chain.
Yeah, like I play with my middle
That's-
school friends sometimes.
Well, we played it
It was
at Drink and
great.
Draws, and everyone there was able to draw. They were a little drunk. That helps.
I imagine it does.
Actually, half the people at that thing didn't drink at all, and the rest were probably not drunk.
Yeah, I never do. Well, I'm always driving there, and I always am like ultra paranoid about getting behind the wheel with even the smallest amount of alcohol.
A lot of people weren't drivers, though. They would bus there and still not drink.
Mm-hmm. Just they were cheap,
Maybe that's it.
or I don't know. You don't think of cartoonists as being sober people.
These were. This was a different group. Every circle is different,
Uh-huh.
and there's a lot of circles in Portland. You can't really say that you're in the cartoonist community because there's just a million disconnected ones.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's my theory that there wasn't really a cartoonist community in Portland. There were cartoonists from Portland,
All right.
and they
who
would
wants it?
leave, and they would go to New York, and they would make their fortune. And but a cartoonist community, I think that only really came about after Dark Horse located here.
That might be true. That's still a long time ago.
And it's a long time ago. Well, it was while I was in New York. It happened, kind of behind my back.
Ah.
Yeah, I was in Portland, and Portland was a place that you were from, and then I left, and then I went to New York, And when I came back, Portland was actually a place that cartoonists moved to. Although you were born here, right?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, you grew up here.
He
That
went to Cal.
makes you a very odd duck. But we have that in common.
Yeah. Here's the thing where I stop talking because I'm drawing.
Oh, yeah.
I can ink and talk,
Yeah, no,
color and talk.
I understand. I remember, well, this was ages ago, but there are always articles in the New York Times about how Portland is the cool, hip, happening place for artists to live. And I remember reading one maybe 10 years ago that just in parentheses said, of course, hardly anyone in Portland, hardly any artists in Portland are actually from Portland. Which I guess is true enough.
It's where young people go to retire.
So I've heard.
That line is the best part of that show.
I don't know. I like all the commercials for the Milk Council.
That is fun.
I also like how absolutely unvarying Carrie Brownstein is in every character. I mean, they give her marvelous wigs and makeup, and she's just the same deadpan character, whoever she's playing.
Well, she does better than most non-comedians would.
Mm-hmm. No,
It's the other guy who really has the scope.
yeah. Well, he's got a terribly wide range next to Carrie. All right, keeps working. Big hello to all our viewers out in the world, especially those in Pakistan. Hi there. Perhaps you'd like to send a message out to all our Spanish-speaking viewers.
I don't know how many of them there are. Just gonna put that out there.
Well,
Not trying to discriminate, but
But you're discriminating by not saying any of that in Spanish.
yeah. Well, and all of our viewers in Italy, avante.
hola. I don't know how to say discriminate. It's probably just discriminate, but might not be.
You don't want to make guesses about the languages you don't entirely speak.
There are a lot of cognates, though.
Yeah.
It's handy. It's one of the reasons I picked Spanish over Chinese.
I learned some Chinese last year. Not very much.
It's a good idea. They just
They don't do any
stopped
conjugating.
the single child law, so there's going to be a lot more of them to talk to.
Yeah.
And
It's really hard though. You have to learn 3 versions of every word. You have to learn in English what it meant, and you have to learn the pinyin, and then you had to learn the character and how to pronounce it, which is often unrelated to all 3.
doing anything special for Halloween?
I'm wearing an anglerfish costume, which I don't know. Maybe you should put a photo on it. Your blog. Pretty cool.
I think I did put a
You
photo.
did?
Yeah, I have a website. I have a blog. My website is dchelsea.com, and most of the time my blog posts are about my Patreon page, where I'm running comics regularly, including the serialized story about reality TV called Are You Being Watched? And easy enough to find my website and check it out. And one of my recent blog posts has a picture of Rebecca's Halloween costume. Are you going? Now, are you going to a party?
I'm going to a party tomorrow.
Okay, is that the access party?
No, that's the band party.
You're going to the band party, and you're going to wear the costume.
I'm going to wear the costume. I'm not going to wear the costume during marching band practice. I
And
decided that. I
Okay.
decided that's a bad idea.
probably. And you're going trick or treating on Saturday?
No,
Okay.
I'm not going to trick or treating because I'm too old, and I'm admitting it. Unlike some of my friends who are like Oh, I just want free candy.
Well, now with that fish thing on your head, no one's gonna know how old you are.
It's true. That's a good point. I'm pretty tall though.
You're pretty
I'm
tall.
pretty tall.
Actually, are you taller than Mom? I guess you.
No.
No, you're not yet.
Believe me, I'm checking. I check every day.
Couldn't help noticing that you were taller than Pete.
Am I?
Yeah.
Fun.
Ben is 6'6", so you have something to aspire to.
6'6".
DMV says he's 6'6".
6'4".
I don't know.
You trust the DMV or do you trust your own eyes?
I stood him up against it. Maybe their scale is off.
They don't have a scale. They just ask you to tell them when you apply for a license.
At least at the one that we went to, the one out on 82nd,
Oh,
they have like a ruler or like a scale on the
Well,
wall.
they don't weigh you.
Not a scale. I mean, a
Well,
height thing.
yes, I know what you're saying, but they don't weigh you, so why should they measure you?
I don't-
They
they-
just ask you your weight,
Well, you might not know how tall you are.
but you'll definitely know how much you weigh.
Yeah,
I
that
feel like most people don't know how much they weigh.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
your height is less likely to change over time, so it's easier to keep track of.
It's funny, like in the first few weeks of PE,
Okay, I'm good.
we had
Okay.
to put our weight down
I always
just
take
like
you on
so we
these
could
things.
track
All
it
right.
over the year.
I'm gonna look at this.
Bad
It
habit.
should take me no time at all to write down what this is.
And they were like so weird about the weighing. Like they had screens set up so that nobody else could see your weight. Because like people are so self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
No idea. And they were like, if you really don't feel comfortable taking your weight, you can do it like next week or after school or something. And it's like, it's
Wow.
very weird.
That's how bad it is to be fat in this society.
So, but they're not worried about actually being fat. They're worried about being shamed for being fat, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like anyone's gonna, peek over at someone else's scale and be like, haha, you're fat. And,
I don't know. I think they're also afraid of shaming themselves,
mm,
thinking that they're a bad person because they're fat. We've all been told it enough.
well, then they should have a scale that you can't even see. That like only the teacher like just writes it down. You can't even know yourself.
Boy, that took me no time at all. Okay, Rebecca.
It was
Give
the
your
first.
weight in code, and then they have to
Yes.
translate it.
It was the first time I weighed myself in over a year though. So. All right, so I'm driving now.
I have a
Rebecca's
Wi-Fi
right.
scale that it does display your weight, but it doesn't need to because it also uploads it to a website so you can track it over time. And that's more useful than just knowing what it is in any moment.
Mm.
It tells you whether whatever you're doing to try to change your weight is working.
Pete, read any good comics lately?
Have I started reading the Beyond anthology.
Never heard of it.
It's pretty great. It's a series of sci-fi stories, and other than that, the ongoing theme is that they're all about, I think, queer relationships
Mm-hmm.
in some way or another, and there's a lot of good variety and good stuff in there. And what else have I read? Well, I'm not a comic, but I'm reading The Martian. Talked about that earlier.
Oh yeah, which was a swell movie, and I've heard the book is strictly for geeks, and it's all full of mathematical tables.
I haven't seen a
Sounds very
single
forbidding.
table yet.
All right, well, how far into it are you?
It's on Kindle, so I don't actually know off the top of my head. I'm probably halfway. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely for geeks. It's for people who are interested in space because it's all about the mechanics of surviving on another planet. But I think if you enjoyed the movie, then you'll probably enjoy the book.
Oh.
If you didn't enjoy the movie and were just grateful that it was short, then I wouldn't recommend the
It
book.
wasn't short. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
I remember looking in there and looking at the time when I was walking the theater and saying, boy, that's a long-ass movie.
Well,
But it went by pretty well.
it's still shorter than a book,
Yes.
unless you're a pretty good speed reader. And
I'm just remembering that Gravity was about 69 minutes long.
yeah, Gravity felt long because It was so stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like I'd been through a harrowing journey.
I'm not saying I didn't get my money's worth.
I love that movie. I love both of those. So if you love both of those because you like space so much, read the book, The Martian.
Yes. Although I got very mad after I saw Gravity because I think it was a slight spoiler revealed the big cheat that they had. I mean, the big unscientific thing that they did in Gravity.
Was it the
there's
thing
a
with the
bunch.
tether?
There's a ton of cheats in Gravity.
Yeah, well, there was only one that really bothered me.
Which is that the satellite network isn't close enough together.
No,
The tether.
that's pretty bad. But no, the tether, the thing where George Clooney is hanging off of the cable and she has to let go of him to save herself. She doesn't have to let go of him to save herself. He has no momentum. Once he's stopped, he's stopped.
Yeah.
She can just yank him in.
I thought they had rotational velocity, and so centrifugal force was actually the reason. I could be wrong.
I thought
Slate
she
says you're
didn't
wrong.
like George Clooney.
No.
I mean, that's easily disproved. If the shot doesn't show them spinning,
All
then
right.
they're
Well,
not
I
spinning.
think it looks pretty different. I don't know if I did a great job there, but
Let's find
There's
out.
a reference point.
Okay.
The Martian has one big cheat. A lot of people.
call it.
Oh, sorry. Let's focus
Yeah,
on the
keep going.
game.
Let's keep going.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. That was quick.
Wow. This is still not working.
It's yeah. Maybe it's hard because we know what the starting ones were. Like you need more people and you like.
You might need more people.
All right. Well,
Because it only goes 2 steps before it comes back around to me.
You need
And
10
one of those
people-
steps is
You
text, so
need
it's
10
just
people
transformed
who
once.
can't draw and 3 people who can draw.
now theoretically, I do one of these every month, Pete. Although next third Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving, so I think I'm going to skip that.
You did one last week.
I did it because I do it third Thursday, and there was a fourth Thursday this month.
And you missed one last month.
Well, and I missed one last month. So I might skip November just because of Thanksgiving. But maybe next time we do it, we should invite a whole cohort of people.
Want to invite friends?
Invite friends, yeah. Like invite some of your friends from school who can't draw.
Yeah, maybe.
Or I could just, do like a perspective drawing
It'd be pretty hard to
demonstration.
get Kyle to participate in this.
Really? Why? He seems like an agreeable guy.
He really hates drawing though. He'd probably just be like, it's not going to be any good. I don't want to.
All right. What did you write, Pete?
Back to you. I guess I was going to say about The Martian, a lot of people don't know, but the thing that drew me to watching it was that it's largely lauded as one of the better researched sci-fi movies. It was originally, the book was released for free. Is that right, Jacob? And the guy got a bunch of comments from NASA scientists and then revised it. And so, by the time it was published on a wider scale, it was more accurate than people are used to seeing. But that does have one big cheat, which is that right at the beginning, there is the team is forced to leave Mars because of a storm that was going to knock over their ascent vehicle, and the air on Mars is too thin to ever achieve that. So that was a knowing cheat. He was aware of it. It was brought to his attention early on. He couldn't find a more accurate way of creating the scenario for the book, so he kept it.
Also, there's no such thing as space travel. I'm a space truther. I don't believe in outer space or space travel.
So far, there's no such thing as artificial gravity, or no one's ever built a vehicle with one. And
No, but we have a workable way to do it.
Wouldn't the centrifugal force?
has it ever been attempted?
I don't know if it's been attempted, but it's the physics are solid. It's not even hard to imagine how it would work.
Have
You just
you
spin the thing.
have you been to a county fair?
Yeah, that's right. They've achieved it on Earth for sure. I've been stuck to a wall by artificial gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity is
They
just
have one at Oaks
acceleration
Park.
through space-time anyway.
One thing about artificial gravity that I've read is that it's going to be much, much weaker or stronger depending on how far you are from the center of rotation.
Yeah.
So
That comes up in the movie.
That depends on how fast it
I don't remember it coming up in the movie.
Yeah, they've got a gravity-free area of the ship, and then they climb a ladder out of it, and then they turn upside
Yeah,
down.
there's like 4 or so different rooms all on this wheel, and then you go to the center of the wheel, and then there's no gravity in there, and you climb the ladder in any direction to get to the gravity area.
You don't need a large gravity area. You just need enough of it that people can exercise regularly, so the muscles don't atrophy.
That's how they did it in Ender's Game too, which I didn't see the movie, but that's how they did it in the book. Is they had the whole ship was basically a ring and different layers of rings. And then in the middle was like the anti-gravity fighting ring.
I really like those fair rides, but I always wanted they could strap you in. At least the one I went to. I wanted one where it's like actually there's like a trampoline or something, and you can. I don't know. People would probably hurt
the one at
themselves
Oaks
a lot.
Park, just ones that go like around really fast.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's
The
just
one
a
at
room
Oaks
that
Park,
spins.
they don't strap you in.
Oh,
They
cool.
basically have nothing at all keeping you in there. There's like one fabric strap in front.
I think
But you are
this is-
expected to lie there.
We should
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
wrap
you
this
can't
up, but I
move
think
after a
I
while.
think this is going to be
It's so strong.
totally lost on you, Rebecca.
Huh?
You want to try and turn this
I bet you
into?
could move if you were willing.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm writing. That's right.
I think she's
I doubt
not
it's
going to
even
get the
a full
reference.
Have you ever considered doing one of those atmospheric flights where they just take you up long enough for you to lose gravity?
I doubt I could afford it, but I'd do it in a snap if someone invited me.
But I guess the misinterpretation and distortion is going to be part of the fun. So
Sure.
whale away. But I think we should probably wrap it up after this.
Yeah.
And we were gonna maybe do something else. I thought maybe do some fan art, but this is taking a long time.
I'm not so sure about this one, Dad. It's like a familiar image, but
Just try your best.
I don't.
Just try your best.
All right, I guess.
Just be,
All you have to do is
interpret
describe it. It
honestly.
doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I guess I'm
good
not
enough
gonna.
description that someone recreates it faithfully. In fact, the idea is to create distortion.
Which we will do more effectively with more participants. Well, why did you participate this time, Jacob? You're such a shrinking violet.
Well, let's all publicly shame Jacob into participating.
He's so afraid of offending anyone. It's just
Oh, that's-
really offensive.
That's another thing we can talk about is, well, 3 of us have read So You've Been Publicly Shamed recently.
And a
And
little bit me.
you know, after reading that book, I am totally anti-shaming. It really, it made shaming seem so bad.
I got to read this book.
Were you pro-shaming before?
Not really, no. But I tried to keep an open mind about it. What do you think, Rebecca?
About public shaming?
Yeah, shaming.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Unless the person's like literally the most terrible person. Like no one deserves to have their life destroyed.
Okay.
Like people say, oh well, it fixes the problem. Like they don't think these terrible things or say terrible things or they're not racist or sexist or whatever anymore. But like their whole life is destroyed as well.
Mhm.
So it's effective, but it's not practical and it's not like it just is too much.
Mhm. So anybody out there tempted to shame me for putting up a hopelessly boring hangout, consider my feelings. Consider my children.
Consider me
Yes.
and Ben
So if you could go back in time and publicly shame Hitler,
to stop
you
him.
know-
from-
You know, Hitler was pretty publicly shamed while
He
he was
seems
alive.
kind of
Look at all those
amazing.
Warner
There's a chance
Brothers
it could-
cartoons.
backfire and just give him even more exposure.
I mean, look at those cartoons where Bugs Bunny is kicking his butt. We subjected him to merciless mockery. And
Yeah, but the point is to publicly shame him before he's in charge of the nation state. So because you have a time machine, so you could shame him back, when he's still a failing watercolorist.
One of the things that comes
His
up
perspective is terrible.
One of the things that comes up in this book, however, is that it actually looks at criminals and their records and why they commit crimes. And it turns out that one of the reasons that people list very often as a motivation for criminal behavior is they feel a profound
No, pizza.
lack of respect frequently as a
Pizza,
result
don't
of
read it.
shame.
Go read it.
So
Why?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
we'll
good
read
that
it
you
next.
would.
I thought we were
I
going to
think
wind
that's
it
the
up.
point I was
Oh,
trying to
wind it
make
up.
is that even if
I think
we
even if
gotta
it is
end it
the
with a
worst
drawing.
person ever and
Can
they
I end it
totally
with a drawing?
deserve
Okay.
it,
Well, it doesn't
shame
matter
is
if
I've seen it.
effective.
I say end it with a drawing.
All right, so Pete's going to end it with a drawing.
All right. Last drawing of the
I
day.
hope you guys don't.
What?
We should. I hope you guys don't film.
You can end it
I'll
with, okay.
end the,
You're the director,
the cycle.
but let Pete finish.
This has definitely changed from the first round.
That's good.
These texts are far too descriptive. Somebody is trying to sabotage the game. Okay.
Is this a Tongue Beasts ripoff game? Or not ripoff so much as theme there? Pete, is this
Oh,
one of
sorry, I
your-
was drawing and can't think while I draw. That is the image I described earlier that is for the rare case when Evil Apples is offline. That will be the
What's-
technical difficulties screen.
That's based on the Tumblr thing.
All right.
Okay, so there's a Tumblr meme that I'm not aware of.
I'm on camera.
Have you
Look
not
at
seen
my-
this image of the Tumblr?
Look at my pretty
Creatures?
orange sweat on Halloween shirt. Oh, wait, over here?
Okay. Now I am on camera?
If you're going to talk about it, you might as well get the picture.
Oh, you might as well get oh. Yes. Let's talk about it.
Oh, that isn't released yet, actually.
Oh, it's not released.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a big deal, but just as a matter of
So
professionalism.
you haven't seen the Tumblr version of this?
There's
So
not the
Tumblr.
chief
Oh, this
gentleman
isn't like a
around here.
meme on Tumblr. This is Tumblr's official technical
it's
difficulty
their
screen.
technical difficulty screen.
I may have
You
seen
saw it here
that.
first.
It rings a bell. It's got some kind of
Yeah,
fantasy
It's
creature.
pretty similar, like fantasy creature destroying the hard drives.
I remember it looking something like an a lot. Am I wrong about that?
Like a what?
An
Oh, like
lot.
a lot. Yes. It was done by the Oatmeal.
Oh, that's why it looks like an a
Oh,
lot.
Well,
did you
he's not
see
the
that
same
thing
guy.
about the
It's
oatmeal
not the
today?
same guy, but definitely the same style.
That was like totally cool. I know you're not a big.
Tell me about the oatmeal.
Okay. Huffington Post did a
They're
hot
supposed to
link
be-
to some oatmeal
Yeah,
strip.
tough games.
Said, hey, we just saw this really cool oatmeal strip. I don't remember what the oatmeal strip was about. And the oatmeal got really irritated because the hot link doesn't, it costs them like web hosting money and they don't actually get any traffic from it. So it's completely parasitic. So the oatmeal guy, I forget his name,
Matthew Inman.
Matthew
Nice.
Inman,
But-
changed the picture to some message publicly shaming the Huffington Post for
He does
trying
that a lot.
trying to link to piggyback onto the oatmeal site. So
Hmm.
they put up this message that said, "Hey, Huffington Post, pay us money for this."
Hmm.
So,
Well, he
shaming-
did that. Do you know about the whole Funny Junk thing?
No, what's that?
That was the same guy, Funny Junk, which I believe is a website that has funny comic strips on it. Stole a lot of his comic strips and were displaying them on Funny Junk uncredited. They found out about this, and I think there was suing involved. Like he sued them, and then they sued him because he drew comics, like inappropriate comics of Funny Junk, like seducing a koala, and like really just piling on the insults there. And yeah, like there was a lawsuit and they demanded that he pay them like $20,000 or something,
Mm-hmm.
which
This
he
is
didn't
why
end up.
companies have legal
Yeah, He
departments.
didn't end up having to pay that because they were asking for it. They couldn't actually ask for it. But what he did is he got people to donate the money to him. So he had the $20,000, and then he spelled out "FU" in $100 bills or something. And then he donated it all to charity.
Oh, I would have put it in the bank.
No, he didn't do that. The people gave their good money to see Funny Junk shamed.
Oh boy,
Okay.
I'm about to draw a motor vehicle without photo reference.
You can do it.
On to your butts.
Rely on your inner perspective.
I think the opening's pretty cool though. It's fun.
And
Doesn't post a lot of things though.
And I just always love people or companies that want to run your work for free or, in exchange for exposure.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing them publicly shamed.
So public shaming is okay for companies, just not individuals, right?
I think that's a good line to draw.
Earlier you were like, I'm totally against public shaming.
Well,
It's awful.
I'm not. It's not that Ariana Huffington was publicly shamed.
I say we do one more text because text is quick.
I guess that would be.
I thought we should end on
Oh wait, it
Ron,
should be
but-
you. Is it my turn or your turn?
No.
All right,
Yeah.
let's let the viewers make the last text then. So if you're watching this on YouTube, add it as a comment.
All right,
That's a good way. Yes. Lots of
perfect.
comments. So
Jacob hated it. He doesn't
So-
want to be on the show, but
I turned around on it.
we're going to all get on camera and wave bye. Don't forget to fight pollution.
Fight pollution. Don't publicly shame anyone. Don't do it.
stay classy, internet.
Happy Halloween.